Oikein hyvää iltaa Itaraportti-ohjelmasta. Tänään saamme kasvot evankeliumin välittämiseen nuorelle sukupolvelle Venäjälle. Andrei Matinga on IRR-TVn radiotoimittaja. Hän on Moldovasta kotoisin ja työskennellyt täällä Suomessa IRR-TVllä 6 vuotta. Tuosta ajasta puolet hän on tehnyt radio-ohjelmaa internetin kautta Venäjälle ja erityisesti nuorisoa tavoittavalla tavalla. Tapaamme siis Andrein ja keskustelemme hänen kanssaan tässä ohjelmassa. Tervetuloa seuraamme. Welcome, Andrei.
Kiitos.
Okay, we chose English because you speak Russian as your mother language and mine is Finnish, but we can use English now. Andrei, we can see almost every day here at IRR-TV that you are on air and live.
Yes.
Who are you talking to and in what channel?
So we are talking to our listeners on the internet, which are listening in one of 2 our internet channels, or maybe both they are listening. So the story started 3 years ago when we started to do radio broadcast through the internet. And from that time in 3 years, so work increased. And now we have 2 working radio channels on the internet. One for younger people, maybe from 25 to 40, and 140 and up. And so the channel for the younger has name X Radio. For older has name SD Radio, and so we have more than 60,000 listeners per month on our young channel on X Radio, and about 20,000 for older people. So on SD Radio, that monthly listeners.
And you told that in 3 years it has grown all the time.
Yes, we start here on IRR-TV. I start to do radio programs, maybe weekly, on the internet. Then I met one guy from Russia. He's Christian, also doing radio programs. And I know him from Christian Broadcast Association, what is based by IRR-TV, and it's working and developing in Russia almost through 20 years. So the work what IRR-TV based, and it was one of IRR-TV lines to teach and to equip Christian journalists and broadcasters. And then using contacts from this Christian Broadcast Association, we start to grow up our team, and now we have 11 studios in 6 countries. So Finland, here in Kerala, Russia, Riga, that's Latvia, then Belarus, Ukraine, and Israel. So that countries where we have studios, and about 40 people are doing radio programs weekly. So most of them are volunteers. They do work as hobby, doing some radio programs. Not all of them are Christians, because we met people on the internet, and so we invite them to do radio programs. Maybe they have some hobbies, maybe some extreme sports, because this extreme connects well with our conception X radio. So X, it can be X like extreme, X it can be X drug user, X alcoholic, so we can use this, so we can play with this brand. And also people what are involved in extreme sports, they were doing some programs using this X like branding for them, and they are not Christians, but they are our friends, and that possibility to us to share gospel with them and to interact and communicate. There are people what are doing programs about movies, so they are talking about movies, they are criticizing, maybe they are watching some trailers or describing trailers on the radio. There are people what are involved in some technologies. Also we have talking programs where we talk about Christian topics, where we invite pastors and give them possibility to talk to take part in talking process. So most of our programs are interaction programs, so not one person speaking, but we have different opinions. And one way what we find for un-Christian to listen Christians and to be interested on Christian topics and on Christian maybe scenes, that to have discussion, so to let them speak, let unbelievers speak, but when they speak they also listen to our position. And when you have Christians only on talking program, so usually un-Christians will turn off the channel because
there's nothing for them.
Yes, there's nothing for them. They have nobody friend to them or on the program. But if they have somebody from other side, so they are associate themselves with that person. So he is represent us, unbelievers, on that topics, and they are listening. And so many Christians are using a very soft gospel. So they are trying to speak very tolerantly and so not speaking about hard moments. But because we choose this discussion way, so we can talk about what we are believing. We don't hide our real believing and our real Christian position on moral sins, on what is going on society. And unbelievers and Christians are listening to us and taking part in the programs.
What do you know, Andrei, of your listeners? You said something about their age, but yes. What else do you know?
So X-Radio, what is designed for young people, so they are active internet users, so they know internet trends, what internet is speaking about, what are on the blogs, on social networks. So they use a lot of gadgets, mobile phones, applications. So they are very technologically equipped and they are interested into it. And maybe because we are the only one internet station in Russia that has a lot of talking programs and that's going live, not recorded and then podcasted, but goes really live and every day. And we have our information agency, so we do news and we are inviting people and we are talking. So the only one internet station what is doing in Russia. So that's interesting for them because they use technologies. For example, you can take a mobile phone and in any place in the world, so you can listen for X-radio. For example, right here in Finland, while we are not on the FM frequency here, but you can listen to us.
And now you go to the internet?
Yes, now I go to the internet, so every mobile phone now have an application for internet radios and you can listen. So now we can wait while it connects. Yes, but by the way, so and from religious side, that young people are so they are not interested in religion. They know about Christianity, but they usually are against a Christian. They have a non-Christian position. So
but they still listen?
Yes, that's a
Why?
Phenomenal. That's phenomenal. We don't know really. We can try to explain, but maybe because they have possibility to discuss with Christians, to tell them what they are not agree. And when they start to discuss, they can find, so now we are. Yes,
so this is
that's
X-radio.
X-radio, yes, it's X-radio playing. That's goes now live, and we can listen to other channels. So SD radio was designed for older people.
Yeah.
So that more. Yes, that's
some radio interviews.
Yes, some radio interview. It has more talking programs, and X-radio has more music, but also talking programs and a little bit shorter. So SD radio is mostly talking radio. And so they are talking not so technological and so internet geeked, but more philosophy, culture, history, and also religions and theological questions. Because in Russia history, so Russian literature, Russian classics, for example, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, Gogol, and a lot of Russian literature has very deep theological moments described there. So they are talking about maybe Russian culture, but really they are talking about theology. And Russian older people who are active internet users, so they try to find on the internet some alternative point of view. So they try to find some interesting people to discuss. And so in Russia's culture, people 40 and up, so they like to discuss. So one of the Russian hobbies are to get together and to discuss some very philosophical topics. So that's very usual for Russians.
Mm. And now, Andrei, there is a great opportunity in your hands, because you had, as a first Christian channel, radio channel in FM.
Yes.
You have a new license. Tell me about that.
Yeah, one of our partners what are working on that internet radio network, so we can name network, from Tomsk. They have got an FM license for all Russia's area for 10 years. So having that license, you have right to go to any region of Russia, to any area, to any town or city, and organize an FM broadcast there. And that is under brand Blagovest, what means gospel in Russian language. So that very cultural word what Russian cultural people use in Russian classics, so that Blagovest, it's very nice word for the gospel, using in the Russian language. And right now we have 2 FM stations already working in Tomsk region, and also 20 stations are on the process of to be opened and to start broadcast. And our vision is to cover all Russia with FM stations. And because we have a great and large network on the internet, so we are producing up to 20 live radio shows weekly. And also we have 3,000 already programs on demand, what we did and what we can use time after time. Now we have all potential, and technical and human, to go on FM and broadcast on FM.
Thank you very much, Andrei, and God bless your ministry.
Thanks, Ruth.
Näin siis Andrei kertoi meille radiotyöstä netin kautta Venäjällä, ja nythän siis myös tuo FM-lupa avaa ovet monen kolkkaan Venäjällä, koska tuo lupa on maan laajuinen, ja radio on ihan eri tavalla vapaa-areena Venäjällä, koska esimerkiksi TV ja lehdistö ovat valvotumpia ja netti ja radio sen sijaan aika vapaata aluetta. Itaraportti palaa ensi viikolla ruutuun. Kiitokset tästä päivästä ja nähdään viikon päästä.